This is Lawrence D. Adams, and today we're talking about the mirror. We've been talking about it before, but the mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Tell me who is the fairest of them all. It's crazy. We need to talk about the mirror. The mirror, the mirror, the mirror. If you do not get this, this is part of character development in the game. This is when spirituality and the game collide. You have the thinking class. And if you don't get it, it is your own has fault. So this is Lawrence D. Adams, and today we're talking about the mirror. Many people can look in the mirror, but very few want to face the truth. It's interesting when I had to look in the mirror and I had to face the truth. Let's get started as we begin this broadcast. Remember, this is when spirituality and the game collide. You have the thinking class. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? This is Hump Day. This is Lawrence D. Adams. Yes, I am here today. We're talking about the mirror never lies unless you... Oh, we ain't gonna go there. What's going on? Happy Hump Day. What's going on, Tyler? What's going on, William? What's going on, everybody? You know, everybody takes a minute to come in, and then what they do, they say hi to everybody, which I love because it's a sense of community that we have here over here in the thinking class. And I know that this community is growing, and it may not look like it's growing, but it actually is growing. It's actually getting bigger. I can watch the numbers and I can actually see. And it's not always about the numbers. It's about the lives that are changed by what we are saying and what we're talking about. And as you know, this is the thinking class when spirituality and the game collides. So today we'll be talking about the mirror, and you know, the mirror never lies. The mirror never lies unless we'll go more into it. But I want to make sure I acknowledge the people are in the chat room, people listening, people coming in. I know some people are working. Some people are coming in and like, oh, what are you going to talk about? What are you talking about? Development and character. People don't want to talk about development and character, but they want in the game, but they want the game. Both of them, character and game, have to go together. Thank you, William, for those two messages that you sent me right before the broadcast. Appreciate those things. Right on point. Get my mind thinking. So, but yeah, people want the game, but they don't want to deal with their character. And it's your character that actually sustains you and push you through the good times, the bad times, the ups and downs, the lows and the highs. So it's very important that you get character. I don't care how much game you got. If you don't have character, your game is going to fall onto deaf ears and you're going to lose because your character is going to reveal who you are. And many times what people don't know, and we're just talking to just to some of us here till we get to the topic, really get to it. You know, many times it's easy to say, I don't want to get up here at 12:30 and do this broadcast. I can be doing something else. I can be asleep. I can be eating. I can be reading. I can be researching. I can be doing whatever. But my character says, put in the work. Don't do it just for you. Do it for someone else. And the lives that I know are changed or impacted by what's shared on the thinking class has been rewarding and fulfilling beyond what I can even ask or whatever I can even think. Even today, shout out to we're open to receive and welcome to others that are on our level. Correct. And even today, somebody even asked, are you still doing it? Because it's not on Facebook. So I'm going to give Facebook another month. Then I'm going to try again to get back on Facebook and actually get the interaction back on Facebook like we had before. But we have been growing steadily, and which is good, because sometimes just because I remember this saying years ago, about 10 to 12 years ago, just because something big doesn't mean it's healthy. Shout out Fear Soul. Let me say that again. Just because something is big doesn't mean it's healthy. Just because it's something that's large doesn't mean that it's healthy. So I think a lot of times people think, well, they got a large numbers and people are coming. It doesn't mean it's healthy, or that everyone is there for the right intent or even a motive. So even today, as we talk about the mirror work, we're going to go into that. But I know at the beginning, I'm learning. Everybody comes in, they say hi to each other, and then we're teaching and we're going forward, and everybody's commenting to each other, which is what I love, because it's a sense of community. And I think a lot of times when you're thinking on this level, it should be a sense of community. Yeah, we got people. Yeah, exactly. I could be watching someone else's channel, but I stay where I'm welcome. See, that makes a difference. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's easy to tune in. Well, the bigger names, they're saying this. It's entertaining. Salute Sigma. It's entertaining and, things like that. But I appreciate, like I always said, I already appreciate everyone who comes in every day, day in out, because we don't have to be here, neither one of us. But we decided to be here as a community. We decided to be here as a community, and we're here to actually empower. Shout out to you, Joe Blaz. We're here to empower each other. You guys empower me, and I empower you. So so I want to definitely talk about the mirror never lies, and we're going to talk about that today. But I understand, and I watch what happens with the uniqueness of the thinking class. The uniqueness of the thinking class that you haven't seen, everyone greets each other. How are you doing? What's going on? I love it because it's a sense of community. You don't get that everywhere. Most people are going to YouTube or even to these spaces to be entertained, which is nothing wrong with that. But when you're getting something that's going to empower you, it's completely different. So shout out to everyone that's in the chat room. Let me do my shout out to everyone. So, I realized that let me slow down a little bit. Let's get everybody to greet each other. I noticed I watched the time span when everybody sort of fumbles in. And what happens is when the notification goes out that I'm live. So it takes a minute for everybody to say, oh, wait a minute, LDA is live, even though I'm live every day at 12:30. So I just want to say shout out to everyone. Fear Soul, good to see you. Good to see Joe Blaz, Sigma. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, this is what community does. Imagine when we do this live, like I can see you and you can see me like in the flesh. That's going to be amazing. But right now we're going to keep it virtual, but it's amazing. We're going to talk about the mirror never lies and we're going to talk about where the mirror is. And this is all part of the character development in the game. Let me say that again. The character development in the game. Character development in the game. I think that's so important that we really talk about that in light of all the things that are going on in the space that we're in. YouTube, black YouTube, white YouTube, yellow YouTube, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's the character development is so important in the game. Character development is so important in the game, and you got to be able to have good character, not just on YouTube, not just online, but actually in your actual real life. And as we've seen in these current events and more events are going to come out, that your character will be tested. So it's very important. So we will be going to that. So we're going to talk about the mirror never lies. And John should be in shortly. And then we're going to start going from there. See, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's real love. So yeah, this is how we doing. And I appreciate you guys. But let's talk about the mirror never lies unless you lie to the mirror. The mirror never lies unless you lie to the mirror. What does that mean? LDA, did you get the Secret Invisible Crown? I still got the books. The mirror never lies unless you lie to the mirror. The mirror never lies unless you lie to the mirror. And we have a lot of people, and I'm guilty, who have lied to the mirror while the mirror was going on. See, there we go. Appreciate it. Thinking class. I'm doing my homework, workout. Good. The mirror never lies unless you lie to the mirror. Let me say that again. The mirror never lies unless you lie to the mirror. And so many times, and I've been guilty looking in the mirror and lying to it. And the mirror says, okay, if you're going to lie, I'm going to lie back to you. But here's the real truth. The mirror never lies unless you lie to the mirror. So let's first identify the mirror and where the mirror is. The mirror is inside of you. As anything you notice that Jono and I teach, we teach from a certain thread of thought. And that thread of thought is, it all starts with you. It all starts where? Within you. So the mirror is within you. It's not on the outside of you. It's not the mirror you go look at when you go use the bathroom, after you finish using the bathroom and wash your hands in your medicine cabinet. It's not the one you go style and profile. The real mirror is inside of you. Let me say that again. The real mirror. That's why character development in the game is so important, because the real mirror is inside of you. If you understood how powerful just that statement was, if we can sort of steady right there, that the real mirror is inside of you. It's not on the outside of you. It's not your mama, not your sister, not your cousin, not your mother, not your sister, not your uncle, not your auntie, not the dog. It's not the cat. It is inside of you. And if you are lying to the mirror will lie back to you. It's funny because I know y'all remember Romper Room. How many of y'all remember Romper Room? Maybe y'all too old or too young, or whatever. Okay. Well, Romper Room, I used to watch it every day. And when Romper Room would come on, Miss Molly would go get a mirror. She's rumper, dumper, do. Tell me, what do you do? And then she goes, I see William, I see Fierce Soul, I see Sigma, I see Reigning Womb, I see Joe Blas, I see Tara, I see all these wonderful people. And I would say, man, she ain't never said Lawrence. She never said, I see Fierce Soul. She'll see everybody else, but she never said my name. And the lesson in that was this. She wasn't supposed to say my name because the real mirror that was there was seen inside of me. Have you looked into the mirror of your life lately? Jonathan W. asked some key questions. He asked some questions to get specific answers. I'm going to get there. How do you identify the mirror inside of you. The mirror that is inside, the mirror never lies unless you lie to it, but the mirror is always inside of you. Shout out. What's going on, Jono?
Hey, what's going on?
Not much, not much, not much. The mirror is always inside of you. And I think what happens is if you don't recognize it, if you don't say, well, how do I know one of the questions going to come up, how do I identify the mirror that's inside of me? Because this is all part of my character development in the game so that I don't lie to myself. It always, like I was saying earlier before you came on, the thread of our teaching always goes back to go within or start with you.
Responsibility starts with you.
Yeah.
Whenever a tragedy or a great incident happens, they always start with ground zero, right? They always say, where was patient zero? Where was ground zero? It always starts from a center point. And if you could look at the common denominator in all your situations, it all starts with you.
Yeah. It starts. That's why I want you to look honestly into the mirror that's within you, in your heart or in your soul. Some people have been deceiving not others, but their own self. I'm guilty. You want to say, well, LDA, you guys, you and John must get it all together. No, I'm guilty. I've deceived my own self in the mirror.
Exactly.
It's only there when you can say, yeah, you know what? I deceived myself. I was completely wrong. I lied to myself, that you stop lying to others. I've been a crook to myself. Now I've stopped being a crook to others. I've been a cheater to myself. So now people can stop cheating on me. Woo.
Or allow yourself to get cheated, you know? Sometimes you don't recognize that you're being cheated on because you're always getting the short end of the stick, you know? Sometimes you got to be, take a win. And I tell people that all the time. You got to take a win. If you don't take a win, then you're not going to experience what winning is like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Even I watch some pessimists take a win and still call it every bad thing that it could be called just because they don't want to, they think humbling themselves is not winning. And that's not true. And you deserve a win. You deserve a win.
Yeah.
But humbling yourself means that you don't get cocky about it. You know what I'm saying? That you don't take it and say, well, this is the way it always was. This is the way I'm always going to be. You know, that's using your ego. That's being cocky. But a win is a win. You know, you get that promotion. That's a win. You get the person you've been trying to, get the attention of over a course of time. That's a win.
Mm-hmm.
But don't act like that was privilege.
Right. Or entitlement.
Even better.
Because a lot of people, their mirror is cracked, has cracks in it, and one of the cracks in it is entitlement.
It's true. Some of y'all had to deal with a broken plate, so you don't know that having a good set was meaning something. You know what I'm saying?
I know that teaching. I just thought about it. When you said that, I thought about that. It immediately came up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? The broken plate shows up before the real plate shows up. Sometimes, you manifested it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. You put yourself in a position where, hey, some things come to you and life will show you that you got to be humble by giving you that little crack on the plate. But it's a sign. It's a sign that that's all you're going to have to deal with. That little crack.
Right. That's true. That's so true. That's why I want you to understand the mirror never lies unless you lie to it. So it's best for you to tell the truth to yourself. Just tell, you know what? This is what it is. Some of y'all need to tell the truth about what you like all the way around. Sexually, mentally, health-wise, where you at, everywhere. Stop fooling yourself, because you're gonna fool yourself, and you're gonna go to the grave and say you get to that last breath like, I should have did something different, because you've been fooling yourself the whole time.
Yeah. I'll give you something even more relatable. Some of y'all been driving down the highway, right? And you know that rock chipped your windshield, right? The rock chipped the windshield, and you're still driving around with that chip in the windshield. You know why? Because it wasn't enough to spread across the whole windshield, the whole glass. But you know that flaw is there. And you're walking around with that flaw knowing that everybody else can't see it, but you know it's there. And that's what you got to realize. That's an example of not taking care of something, but you know it has a possibility of rearing its ugly head someday. But you still deal with it because you know it's not the right time to deal with it.
That's so true, man, because it happened to me for real life. It happened to me, I think it was last year, the year before last. I'm like, God, I got behind the truck and I said, Doc, there's a little dot right there. I'm a drive though. I'm cool. Boom, 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 boom. You know, I'm still rolling, doing my thing.
I mean, self-repair kits on that. Matter of fact, insurance companies pay. They will pay for you to have that chip fixed for free. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Your insurance company right now, no claim, no raise in your insurance, no raise in your premium. They will pay to have a chip corrected that's less than 1 inch on your windshield. You know why? Because that could turn into a disaster one day.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It only costs $5 to fix it.
Very true. Because mine came up to $900. You know why? Because I had a brand new car, new car with the model year.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like, it was pandemic. And guess what? They didn't have the windshields for that.
Right. Some of y'all are driving around hoping the crack don't spread. Think about it. On my white Durango, I had a white 98 Durango. Okay. I got a crack in the first year on the windshield when I got that truck. And even though I never fixed the crack, it plagued me for almost 20 years thinking about whether this crack was going to spread. And after a while, I decided I'm not going to care. But whenever I hit that huge pothole, whenever I hit that huge bump, I was like, is the crack going to spread? But it always reminded me that the car wasn't perfect. There was always a flaw that was going to creep up one day and rear its ugly head. And even to the last day I had it, I still thought about that crack. Like, even if I wanted to sell it, I got to make sure the cracks, I got to tell somebody about the crack.
Right. But that's the thing that happens even in our own personal lives, man. And that's a good, beautiful example, man. Many times we got it may be something just simple that we need to actually need to really, really look at. And somebody's messaging me. Anyway, Jesus. That we need to look at, because you might think it's small now. As Spirit's talk about 5 years later, it's all over the place. Yeah. It's not just affecting you, it's affecting everything around you, because you have not dealt with that one little crack that's in the mirror of your life.
It's true. There's a big difference between a chip and a crack. Okay, the chip, it's almost defined. You know there won't be any more dimensions to it. But a crack, you can see it has potential. You can see this small problem could turn into a big problem. And a lot of people don't look at what a potential issue could be in your situation and see where the detriment really could be on your brand, on your livelihood, on your mental well-being. We take all that stuff for granted. We look at something and say, oh, well, it's not a problem today, so I'll just leave it alone. But tomorrow, it could be something that could be something even harder to deal with, or maybe unbearable at that moment. But we chose to ignore it.
Yeah. So I want you guys to really get that. And it's so true, man. I can see some things that the repair kit needs to come out.
Yeah. Sometimes the repair kit now is only $5.
$5.
But if you don't take care of it, it could be a $900 problem.
Yeah. Or $20,000 a day problem.
Yeah. I had to replace a windshield on my Audi, and they were like, "Oh, you have these special rain sensors, and you have this special, glaze on the windshield. It can't come from a normal glass manufacturer." They give you all everything I kept saying was ching ching. I just kept it down. Yeah, your windshield's gonna be $1,600. It's gonna take a week to order. Your car's gonna be in the shop for a week. I'm like, a week for a windshield? Come on.
Yeah.
$1,600. Then I realized, you know what? I could have avoided even the incident that caused the crack. And that's what some people got to realize. You may be willing to just deal with whatever life throws at you, but sometimes some of these cracks were unavoidable. And that truly shows where you have developed in the game. Are you ready to forecast the incidents you have to weather? You get it? It's no mistake with making a reference now to weather. When they say forecast, it means they know with almost certainty exactly what's going to happen. That's why it's called forecast, right? But you know what? It's possible to change the weather, right? You could jump on a plane, go somewhere else. You could stay inside, shelter in place. You could make sure your gutters are clean to make sure you don't get flooded. There are things to prevent the inevitable from causing damage in your situation. But some people decide, I'm going to be, instead of a disaster prevention center, they're going to be a disaster recovery center. Which one are you saying you're better at trauma recovery, or are you better at preventative maintenance? Which one?
PMs, please, but please, PMs.
What do you think costs less? When the doctor tells you to go on a diet, right? Oh my God, my food costs, because I had to switch to organic and I had to switch to healthy. My food costs went from $100 a week all the way up to $175. But guess what? If you prevented cancer, or if you prevented a terminal disease or something you had to treat for the rest of your life, like diabetes, you'll be paying tens of thousands of dollars in your later years because you didn't pay the $75 a week for the healthy food. You could have did the preventative maintenance instead of eating the cheeseburger, eating the fried chicken, eating all the stuff you wasn't supposed to eat. And now you got to pay tens of thousands of dollars to the medical community just to keep you alive and keep the illusion going. Because you still could change your diet and you still won't do it.
The mirror never lies.
Preventative maintenance. And you
refuse. And this even goes deeper into even relationships. What preventative maintenance are you doing even in a relationship with yourself, but with others? That's some things you got to really look in the mirror and say, hey. You got to pull the horses back and say, hey, stop. There's some things that are not right here.
If you had a checkoff list of things that really, and like we said, when you meet the person you really want to be with, all your rules are out the door. But at least if you had some prerequisites, you could kind of fan through all the people that don't qualify.
Yeah.
As opposed to just having marks on the chalkboard. You know what I'm saying?
I heard something today, man. It was quite interesting. It's on a subject. And I'll give a shout out who said it. I was listening to Appleton preach, and they were doing and this goes to what we're talking about, the mirror never lies, development of character. They were doing a breakdown of Kevin Samuels
Okay.
on how much is enough. How much sex is enough? They didn't say that, but you know what they were saying. They said something else. And Kevin pretty much made a summation is after a while, it becomes, in so many words, it becomes a distraction because it takes you off of your purpose and where you need to be at.
Yeah. You become a robot just trying to put up numbers.
Yeah.
But there's no substance.
Right. And it's something that caught my attention, and I'm going to say this because it sticks to, this is so important. I want every man to hear this and every woman that's listening. It's something when a man receives love from a woman. It's sex. It's something when a man genuinely gets the love he needs from a woman, and vice versa. When a woman genuinely gets the love from a man, there's no price tag on that. It's unexplainable. But what we have done is we have mitigated or lessened our interaction to just sex and not the real value, which is in the other person.
And it's true. You start to realize that why you're going through the motions in the first place. You know why? Because it has no substance to it. It's a physical action, and you feel like, oh, posting these numbers means something. But if you really look into the issue or look into the problem is there's no depth to it. There's no substance to it. And that's why you have to have it in the quantities that you're looking at. You know what? Sometimes it's not about the quantity. Sometimes it's about how powerful that particular situation is. Okay. Go ahead and think back. Some of the things that hurt you the most at some point had the biggest impact on your life. And what happens is, even in relationships, a person who you know had the biggest impact on your life, that physical response was one of the best responses you ever had. And the only way you could feed it is to put back numbers up against it, as opposed to finding something with the same quality.
It's sad because that's being fed on YouTube and many other places, platforms, the number game versus the quality game.
Absolutely.
I always say that there are some beautiful women, quality women to anybody's liking out there who would treat you like a king, and vice versa for the women who would treat you like a queen. But we've been so dumbed down to what just happened in the bedroom. We can talk about the bedroom. That's LD After Dark, though. But we have missed the point.
So that's all surface level stuff.
Yeah, it's surface.
It's surface level and almost primal.
Yeah, it is. Yes, yeah.
So if you think that stuff is important, it has its place. Nobody said it's not important. Nobody says, I don't need to be satisfied. No, that's not true. It's not true. What has to happen, though, it has to be a complete package. And what we fail to realize is that we get stuck on the surface. You don't get deeper. You don't get into the person's soul, the person's subconscious, find out where you vibe on. Is there communication level on a subatomic level? What happens is we end up missing the mark. The value is only calculated from what other people can see. And why would we judge somebody on one level when we are such deep levels? How many chakras are there? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If there's 7 chakras, why are we going after the first level of physicality?
And miss
We're not
all
getting
of them.
into any of the deepness.
Right. You haven't even tapped into the. I think I talked about the guy. We had to find him online, who's able to make a woman have an orgasm without touching her, because he's able to tap into Reiki, into the energy level of that woman.
Exactly. There's no mistake. If you studied the tantric, if you studied the Reiki, if you studied the chakras levels, if you studied even what we talked about yesterday, the seasons, right? If you studied those these are simple, documented methods, you would have game beyond game. 95% of all your competition would be wiped out just because you just studied what's established. But no, we want to go and stick with the physical and think what Instagram tells you is looking good. You want to stick with what, basically what a painted up clown is supposed to be the perception of beauty, as opposed to figuring out who actually deserves your happiness.
Right. And everybody doesn't deserve your happiness.
Clowns are for the circus.
Yeah. And we have enough clowns already.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not just going after the way women look. I'm going after the way the men look. Men look good up there looking like clowns.
Yeah.
They got their whole persona painted up, and it's not even true. Why do you think the whole thing with Fresh and Fit and everything is good? It's popping off right now because all of the clout chasing is coming to a head, because sometimes the real will reveal itself. And if you have a true establishment and your track record was based on the way you treated other people, it's going to come back.
It has to.
It's a price to pay. It's just about how long it takes. The universe is always watching. It's just a matter of when you're going to pay. And it's going to happen. It may happen at you consider the moment you consider convenient, or it could happen at the wrong time. And guess what? We don't know what it is for him, but nobody wants something bad to happen. It's always the wrong time.
Always the wrong time when stuff is revealed. Dude, it's so imperative that they get this. We talking about the mirror, but do we understand that we miss out on the connection with others because we so caught up on the physicality of someone, the aesthetics, especially I'm talking about the men with the woman. We miss out on so much on that. We miss out on so much on that, man. And what happens is, like, we've been pointing our mirror, like you said, to the clowns, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, whatever the case may be, and not realizing that the mirror we need to be looking at is in ourselves and how we really made a deep connection with themselves. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Since we didn't take the gloves off, what happens is a lot of guys, and I'm gonna say this in this space, have not had a deep connection with a woman.
It's true.
They never had a deep connection with a woman. They never experienced a woman on beyond a physical level. And so they're constantly searching, thinking it's going to lead by their penis, their phallus, their dick. And they're missing the true essence of a woman and the real intimacy that their heart longs for. I'm just being honest. Not that we don't have sexual desires and urges, we all do. But I'm telling you what I know and what I've seen. And what we have to do, we have a sea of men who are constantly growing up into this state of thinking that's causing them to fail miserably in relationships, in life, and everything else. The same with the women, because I'm not just pointing the finger just at the men. The same with the women. They have bought into the lie of painting themselves up and being this and this facade, and they really want the intimacy of a masculine man.
It's true. You have to understand the junction point. Even if you think about the male and female points of every junction point, right? Those are extensions of yourself. Even the woman even though it's inside, it's an extension of themselves. It's an entry and an exit point, right? And in the man, it's the same thing. What our equipment, we have entrance and exit point at that point. So it's surface level. It's surface level. Now there's a sensitivity level, and that's what people fail to realize. The sensitivity level of that entrance and exit point puts emphasis on how much we think it's important, and that's not true. Your tongue has a lot of nerve endings so that it can be sensitive to the entrance and exit thereof. Your eyes have a sensitive point so that it could be sensitive to the entrance and exit of that point. And what we have to realize is that all of those outer physical things are designed to figure out how we relate to the very thing in front of us. Even the organs that, your skin is an organ, it's what you feel is a touch point. So, but to get to the real essence of it on the inside, you have to literally go past those sensitivity areas and then accept it on another level, a deeper level, a level of understanding. not a level of feeling.
Mm.
When you see something, it is a physical response. But can you see without your eyes open what you're looking at?
No, a word that comes to mind when you say that? Intimacy.
Right. And that builds up. That's intimacy is built. It is not something that just appears.
No. Intimacy happens when you're standing in front of the person with your clothes on, but you're completely naked.
Yeah.
Let me say that again.
You already have an understanding what's going to happen.
Come on. Intimacy happens when you're standing fully clothed in front of that person, but you're completely naked.
And you know how many guys are missing that? How many women are missing that? They're missing that part. That's why they're looking for the surface level physical. Surface level physical is literally a reaction. It's not a response. A reaction and a response are two different things.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This is too heavy now, man. We didn't went to the side.
You know, there's some things that are just involuntary.
Yeah.
Any guy is gonna have a reaction. A reaction from the interaction, right? Trying to keep it clean. But guess what? A real response is the multiplication that comes from intimacy. Okay? The intimacy multiplies it so that you feel it on all levels, all cylinders. Okay? It's not just a reaction. Anybody could, touch your arm and the hairs go up. That could happen to anybody. That's called a reaction. But a true response comes when all of your senses are responding to what the intimacy level asks for. And that's what we all misperceive every time. We get that part wrong because we're not paying attention.
No.
We're looking for the obvious surface level BS. And yes, it will have its particular pleasure level. But if you aren't looking for it on deeper levels, it can't multiply itself.
I'm gonna say just something you said that with the pleasure levels. And since we didn't step in we didn't put our foot all the way in, we might as well just take the other shoe off and just put the other foot out there. The pleasure levels that you're looking for on the physical level will be heightened when you open the door of intimacy on the other side. It will take your physical interaction, male, female, female to male, to another degree that you would never experience with someone else. Because of the deep connection, we're still talking about the mirror and the character, because this still deals with character, because you got to look at yourself. Some of the fear soul says, and they haven't connected with themselves. So we haven't connected with the mirror, but it takes the physical interaction to such a heightened level that you think you have experienced physical intimacy. You have never experienced you have not experienced physical intimacy until you take it and become intimate with that person. It's so deep that we have been focusing on the surface. How to get game, get number. I'm not against that. But if we would tap into that, like you said, the Tantra and the Reiki and the other sciences of how we are connected, man.
The percentage is too high. We pay attention too much to the surface level stuff in comparison to what you're supposed to be studying. Okay? You can sit here and watch on the YouTube streets, all the ways and methods of, first level game. Okay? But guess what? It comes to a point where that stuff is definitely surface level, and you have to start studying the deeper sciences. I'm not just naming the spiritual sciences either. You have to start studying yourself. You have to start getting within and understanding your response to things, not your reaction. Those are almost all the time involuntary. What you can command in your response is something much deeper, because we are looking for a certain level of, if I say, listen, I command for this to happen a certain way, you want a certain outcome to be that way because you set things up to be that way. And that's that's supposed to be the gauged response. It's not supposed to be just a reaction.
Shout out to you, John the W. This you got to go back and listen to this, man. We in 501 already.
True.
We're in 501 already. So the thing, you said something that's so key. I remember when I was married, and shout out to her. She's the mother of my two children. What I did was I studied her. But something you said prior to that, we have not taken the time to study who we are.
Yeah.
Have you taken the time to really study, look in the mirror and study who you are, your proclivities, your likes, your dislikes, why you
idiosyncrasies,
idiosyncrasies, what you like to eat, why you like that, why you go to bed earlier, do you go to bed at night, are you a night hawk, or are you an early bird, or what do you need to be by the water? No, what you need to study, you need to have a study guide of you.
Yeah. Think about it. Tell me if I'm wrong. Am I right? No BS here. No playing around. Right? Isn't there? I'm gonna ask you a question, LDA.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't there a point where you feel like it's a better time for you during the day than other times?
Oh man, shoot, yeah.
Okay. Now, isn't that one of the first things on the physical level you kind of find out from your partner? Like, what time do you? Because what happens is, it may not be the same time. That doesn't mean it's a bad match. But if you're cognizant of it, you both could get something out of it if you work as a team.
Very true. Because at a certain time, I'm like, look, hey,
it's not going to work for me now.
It ain't going to work. But other times,
right on point.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
That's one of the first ways to get to an agreement when it comes to something like that. But if you're not on the same page, even that equation won't work.
Yeah. That's why you have to be a student of you.
If you don't know you can't tell somebody how you are going to be taken care of.
Imagine that.
Guess what? Participate. How many guys are out there waiting for somebody to just do something? You know why? Because they don't know what is okay for them. They haven't decided that this is what's right for them. So they're waiting for somebody else to trigger that.
Dude, you hit you take the word out about there. You like Jersey, Cleveland, dude. The problem is with a lot of dudes, and I'm saying the dudes and the females too. You want everyone else to tell you about you instead of you telling yourself about yourself. He's going to say it. That was going to say it. That was going to say it. This is going to say it. You have not got into a conference call, Zoom meeting, Microsoft meeting, Google Hangout, which is gone, meeting with you and only you. How dare you bring someone else into your Zoom call when you have not had a Zoom call with yourself?
It's true. And then you're going to blame them like they doing something wrong. Come on. You got to be in touch with you first. Okay? You got the conference call has to have you on the line first, right? You are the moderator, correct? You be the moderator. You get on the phone call first. You test out the line. You test the keys to make sure how to turn entrance and exit tones off and on. You figure out how to make this thing work. Then you bring on your guest. You get what I'm saying? Okay.
But everybody want to bring all the guests on. And then when you say, we don't call you, everybody. Oh, yeah. Somebody talking in the background. Sit down over there. I told you get that chicken out your mouth. Stuff.
Yeah. You don't know how to mute them. You don't know how to make sure the right people are contributing the right. It's like a bad conference call.
We've been there. That's why we get relaxed.
Exactly.
We've been there for real life. Real life.
If you would just tap in to what you're supposed to do. If you're supposed to be running this thing, I'm not saying run the relationship. I'm saying run your part for you. If you already know how your response is going to be, then you could accept what can come in. And then you really start to judge the quality of what's getting contributed. Not everybody can come on your call and be a quality contributor in your situation when it comes to getting your happiness. Not everybody qualifies. Now, if I had 1,000 people on here, yeah, you're going to get the numbers, right? But it's all going to be washed out by a sea of commonality. You know what I'm saying? There'll be nothing that was designed specifically for you because you didn't take the time to find out what's for you.
You need to have a conference call, Zoom meeting with you. That's why the mirror never lies unless you lie. This segues so well, dude. It just dude. I can't try to think. Gentlemen, ladies, you need to connect a real connection with yourself. That is the character development in the game.
Before you jump on a meeting, right?
Yeah.
What happens? You got to try it out for yourself, right? Don't you got to test your microphone?
Yeah.
Test your camera. You got to make sure, if you don't, make sure everything's working, or else what happens? I'll mute. And, hey, Jono, I can't hear you. See, if I didn't test it out, how am I supposed to know? Now somebody else has to tell you what's wrong with you.
Right.
If you don't try it out for yourself, if you don't get in the mirror first, somebody else has to tell you what's wrong with you.
You
would have known that you were muted out. I had to say, LD, I had to get your message. Yeah, you're muted out, bro. Look, the other side, whoever joined the call, got to tell you what's wrong with you. And that's not the way you prepare for the meeting. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all, this is too heavy. This is heavy game, man.
If y'all could catch this, you would have a major key.
Yeah, seriously, because it's so deep.
Does somebody else have to tell you what's wrong with you when you're live? If this is supposed to be an intimate meeting and somebody got to tell you about you, that means you didn't prepare. You didn't look in the mirror first.
You have not connected. You haven't said, you still on dial-up while we on 5G.
If somebody has to start with your flaws before the intimacy, you ain't prepared.
No.
You didn't prepare.
If this is resonating with you, let me know in the chat room. Woo! That's why I feel like Ric Flair.
I hear like 10 levels right now. No BS, man.
God, Jesus.
I heard when this came out, and trust me, we didn't prepare for this at all. I saw things on 10 different levels. Brother, it's like, I hope they catch this.
Yeah.
I hope they catch this. This is crazy. This is a major, major game.
Woo! I like that. 6G. I love it. You're already there. Dial up. Don't be on dial up on this one. You better get this. So when we're speaking is imagine yourself. There it is. You know what's coming in. Erickson. Imagine yourself so connected with who you are that when you connect, what's going on, Alonzo Hall? When you connect with others, there's no disconnection there.
Yeah. There's always some level of relate, always some level of communication.
Yeah. How would you feel if you looked in the mirror and you connected with yourself on such a deep level that when you see others, there's immediate connection with them because you already connected who you are?
True. How could you could be so connected to a situation that you could write out the details of that situation without even being in the room.
Mm.
That's how tapped in you want to be.
Mm.
I told you I had a phone call yesterday. It was to put together a proposal for something I have not seen yet.
Mm.
But you know what? The person trusted me to do it because they know I have that ability.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even have to see it. And I already know the challenges I'm going to run into. I already know the time frame. I already know the cost. I already know what the outcome's going to be. And you know what? When you dealing with people that are upper level, it's because I already had this issue. I looked in the mirror and see where I had the issues. And now I can project it onto a solution for the person.
Oh, that goes to we at 25 after. God dog it. Because if there's a mirror, there has to be a what?
A reflection. Jesus.
I was trying to stop. I was trying to hold it back, man. I've been trying to hold back that. It's been like.
And you want to hear something funny? I was thinking about the exact same thing. Some people are looking at mirrors to see the reflection of another object as opposed to themselves.
Say that again.
Some people are looking at a mirror to see the reflection of another object instead of themselves. They're trying to take the mirror and see if they can see something without them seeing them.
Oh, let me go get my mirror. Keep talking.
You ever look at a mirror and you see something behind it, or you see something, if you stand at a certain angle in the mirror, you see something else instead of you? It's because you're trying to find a way to see something without looking at it with your naked eye. You're trying to find an advantage to see it another way. And what happens is, if you don't look at the mirror first to see you don't see where your place is in that particular moment. You're supposed to be looking at it for you first, then for a reflection of another object. That's the master key.
Look at that. It's
That's
crazy.
Reflection. That's the one-to-one reflection. Now,
Right there.
for you to be able to bounce reflections off to see other things, guess what? You got to have mastery over your own reflection first.
Y'all better get this, man. This is heavy. I thought a vibrator went off in the store.
Okay.
The energy is working. There's always a reflection, but do you see you?
It's true.
Do you see you? Do you see you? It's not the other person. It's not the object. It is you.
Where's your place in it first? Where you cannot. You think about a security officer in a room, right? He has the advantage of seeing all the angles in that building, and his job is to observe all of the reflections from that camera, right? But you know what? He's no good at that job until he knows where his place in the building is. You know why? Because he can't direct. He cannot direct help in the right direction if he doesn't know where his position is first. Now that's next level game. Because every camera is a mirror. Every camera is a mirror. Even when it says mirrorless, it's still a mirror.
I heard somebody say, well, you know, my mirror is cracked, Jono. It got multiple cracks. My mirror right here actually have a crack, if you can see it. You can see the crack in the mirror. And we talked about the crack in the mirror. It's still reflecting, but sometimes you can take those cracked pieces of the mirror.
Hold up again. Is that a chip or a crack?
That's a crack.
Let me see. Okay.
See it?
Where to start off with? See in the corner?
Yeah, it's in the corner.
It started off as a chip.
Yeah.
Think about what could have happened if the original chip didn't happen. You see what I'm saying? Would it have spread? And is this enough to deal with? Are you going to be able to handle it at this point to say, I don't need to do anything about this, and will it spread anywhere else? Are you confident it won't grow to a bigger issue that you will have to deal with someday?
No, this with this particularly, yeah, I see what you're saying. Good, yeah.
And that's what we have to all be cognizant of. What have we allowed to chip away at us, crack through with us, until we finally have to deal with it because it doesn't look like us anymore? How many cracks have to be in that mirror before it don't look like you no more?
There. Whoa. You right at 130 on that one. That is the number for today. Jesus, that came right at 130. How many cracks in the mirror? Say that again.
How many cracks have to appear in that mirror before it stops looking like you?
How many cracks in the mirror do you have to see? Does it have to be before it stops looking like you? Man, dude, this is so heavy. I'm feeling this like all my chakras are. I see the question. 130 is the number. John, a question. What if a person sees themselves in the mirror but try to avoid his or her reflection and try to flee away from the mirror? Just ask Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
No, you already answered your own question. You don't want the answer. You don't want to see the reflection. What you see is not you. When you look in the mirror and you don't see what you think you want to see, when you say, I don't want to see this reflection, I want to avoid it, the reason why you're fleeing it because it doesn't look like you. It may be what the mirror says you look like, but you know from a subatomic and sub-physical level, it may have the appearance of you, but it is not you. You can't even face you because you know that's not you.
Dude, man, if y'all don't get this, man, this week is Jesus, man. When I'm talking about, I sense this all right in here.
It's firing all cylinders. As I said, you're firing all cylinders. Your spark plugs are all plugged in. Everything's firing correctly right now.
This is heavy.
A car can run. If it has 8 cylinders, it can run on 6. It can run on 4, but it's not running efficiently. When you get it, it should be running on all cylinders.
Come on, True Savage. They're literally running away from themselves.
It's true. If you can't even look yourself in the mirror, it's because it's not you. It's not you, bro.
It's not
you need to fix that. And you can't fix it in the mirror. We only go in the mirror to what? To improve ourselves, to shape this up, and to make sure that our ears are clean and our teeth are clean. We go in the mirror to improve ourselves. But if it don't even look like you, it's not even worth it.
So what you're saying is some people are looking in such damaged mirrors that they don't see their true identity.
Exactly. They don't even know the cracks are there. They don't know it's all cracked up. It doesn't look like you anymore because you haven't let the mirror reflect on you properly.
Oh my God.
You were looking for physical cracks for it to be looking wrong. No. It was all the other cracks that made it impossible for it to be you. And that's why you will run from the mirror.
You see what she just wrote, man? I can't. Oh my God. I'm trying to breathe all this in. Whenever angel number 130 shows up in your life, it is a message from your angels that something that may appear to bring hardship or require a considerable amount of responsibility.
Come on, that's the summary for the whole broadcast. Y'all need to get this. I don't care if you got to go back and watch this 10 times. Some people, that's what I said, I talked about 10 levels here. It's going to take about 10 times for some people to watch this again and get it.
Jesus.
I'm telling you. Some of y'all got mirrors in your house and don't know they're all cracked up.
Come on. There you go. See? Oh my God. We're talking about embracing the game, but you can't embrace anything or anyone until you embrace your. Come on.
It's true. Some of y'all lying in the mirror right now. Y'all can't wait to paint another face on your face. Some of y'all run to the mirror, can't wait to paint another face on your face. Some of y'all can't wait to look like something else as soon as you look in the mirror.
Dude, this is heavy.
You can't wait. Some of y'all didn't have your morning coffee. Some of y'all rolled right out of bed and went to the mirror and said, oh, I can't wait to look like something else. You ain't ready to face who you are.
And have you told yourself today, and I'm talking to someone, 2 things. Y'all ready for these 2 things? Let me know in the chat room. The angel really spoke today. Jesus Christ. These 2 things. Have you really told yourself? Let me know in the chat room you're ready for these 2 things. And we definitely got to go because the flow is so.
Yeah, we can't. We can go on for another hour.
Yeah. You ready? Thank you. I got the one. You're ready. Have you really told yourself and looked in the mirror? You need to do this today. And look yourself eye to eye and tell yourself, I love you and I forgive you. Have you told yourself that I love you and I forgive you? Not nobody else, but have you told yourself? Did you do that today? I dare everyone to, don't just say it once. Say it until you feel it in the mirror. I'm telling you, it will radically change your day, everything about you. You need to connect to this because we got to end. We got to, when you look in the mirror and tell yourself unconditionally, I love you and I forgive you.
Yeah.
Listen. It's going to do something. Y'all want the game? We just this is the character development game right here.
That's a treatment right there. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's a treatment. That's a treatment right there in the mirror. If you did that one trick in the mirror, oh my God. You would heal. You know how fast you would heal? Oh my God.
Look who come through. Keep it flowing.
Keep it flowing. Yes, brother.
I didn't, but I will look at myself today and be present. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, I love you. I appreciate you. I forgive you. It's okay that you messed up. Get back up.
Exactly. Or I took that loss to have a lesson. It wasn't to stay down and fail. I took the loss so I could learn. Get yourself back on track. You know how many conversations I gotta have with people because he's an off track?
Mm-hmm.
Let me stop. I gotta stop.
Yeah,
We gotta go. We gotta go.
Yeah, this is the art of the game. This is the art of grace. Oh, I thought you said game of grace. It's powerful. What you just said when that game starts, what you said is where a game starts. Right. Thank you. The energy hit different. Have you take, I dare you. That is the homework for tonight. Do that treatment. The homework for tonight. We never gave homework out. But today's a new day. Go in the mirror. Don't say it in your mind. Verbally say, I love you. I appreciate you. I forgive you. I take the lesson. I dare you to do this treatment, and you got to feel it. Don't do it like, yeah, I love you, man. All right, peace, man. See you later. No, you got to say it with feeling. Homework tonight. Jono, you got anything else, man? Woo.
Just one thing to add. I usually don't add anything.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Add the part where you thank the universe for getting you this far. Because if you are able to even look in the mirror, you got here with purpose. It was no mistake.
Yeah, the thank you part. Thank you, universe. God, thank you that I got this far. When you do that, Man.
It almost wipes the slate clean, and you could start right then in that moment. Start over. You want to start over? Get over it.
Man, we got to go. It's 1:40.
It's so much more. There's more. You guys better be here tomorrow.
Yeah, dude, we might have to do mirror too.
Yo, this is powerful.
Yeah, we about to do mirror. It's gonna be called mirror too. It has to, because it's so much.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
So people that CJ, what's going on? If you can catch this, see, if you can catch CJ, shout out to you. First time seeing you. If you can catch this, you got it. You got to look in the mirror and do this. If you do this treatment tonight, don't say it just one time. You got to say it with feeling. You got to say it with emotion, like you would to a lover, like you would say it to somebody that you got whatever you got to do. You got to say it. I'm telling you, sure as my name is Lawrence D. Adams in this channel, you're going to sense a shift in your consciousness.
It's true. It's going to be a transformation.
Yeah.
Because you're going to stop getting pulled back from something, and you're going to start putting your hands out and pull yourself towards something. That albatross that's behind you is going to get cut away. And you're going to attach yourself to the slingshot, pulling yourself forward. How about that?
Man, I gotta go. My head is like,
flip it around. You can be tethered by anything. I'd rather not be tethered by my past, but I want my future pulling me toward it. You could be tethered by anything. Just pick it.
Well, we didn't give the number, which was right the month. The angel has spoken. You know what? Go back and rewatch this. CJ, welcome to the thinking class. It was spirituality and the game collides. You have the thinking class. And you don't get it, it's your own ass fault. We are out of here, man. Wow. Dude, this was so powerful. This didn't make any sense.
Yeah, you're right.
Huh?
You're right. We know what sense is gonna make. If you look back, you're gonna see it in this whole broadcast. I hope they go back and look.
Yeah. It's almost like we reintroduced them back to themselves. CJ, please go back and re-listen to the broadcast. Please, this is very powerful. Go back and re-listen to this broadcast. It's going to really help you. I promise you. Go back and listen to this, because what we're saying, and listen to it slowly, take notes, whatever you need to do. Go back and listen to this broadcast. It's going to help you in your walk and where you're going. Well, Jono, wow, man. It's only supposed to be for 30 minutes. We always go to it's so powerful, the pull. All right.
Very powerful. Very powerful.
Wait till tomorrow, the mirror.
Yeah. We just asked for the multiplication. Imagine when it comes.
Oh my God. Yeah. Did you see that?
You commanded it. You said, I want twice the value of this particular teaching. It's going to come now. Look at that.
Yeah. Yes.
It's been commanded. Tomorrow's going to be epic.
Yeah. Part 2, mirror. Whew. Character development in the game. Let me end this broadcast.
Mr. Lord? Oh man.
I thought we was off there. My fault.